Hey guys, this is Caleb with DSLR Video Shooter, and today we're going to take a look at a $50 monitor and see if I was an idiot for buying it. Camera monitors like this one are super handy and really a powerful tool for YouTubers and filmmakers. The problem is for a lot of budget folks is that they're very expensive. So recently I was doing some research and I came across this $49.99 7-inch HDMI monitor. So I wanted to see if it was worth anything at all or if it was just junk, and if it's something that budget filmmakers should take a look at. Now there are several models very similar to this, some with less, some with more features, and the price varies about $10. And most of these monitors are actually designed for like rear mount cameras on trucks and whatnot. So it's going to be interesting to see if we can actually use this for filmmaking and for making YouTube videos. So to check it out, let's head over to the bench and take a closer look. So here's our 7-inch ultra-thin TFT LCD color monitor. In the box you receive the monitor itself. It's surprisingly thin and we have a couple different jack options. There's an AV, HDMI, and VGA in, built-in speakers, and a DC 12-volt power input. Even though there's a headphone symbol, it looks like they've blocked that port, so on other models there might be a headphone jack. The monitor comes with a couple different cable options, including a 12-volt power supply for the monitor. After failing my attempt to remove the protective cover, I went ahead and hooked it up to a Sony a6300. Surprisingly, the monitor is actually really sharp and I'm very happy with that. You can easily tell when things are out of focus, but I did notice the image was pretty blue. To see what kind of options we have on this monitor, I jumped into the menu system and it's pretty minimal here. We have brightness, contrast, and saturation. We can change the language, flip vertically, horizontally, control the timeout and menu transparency, reset the monitor, change our aspect ratio, rotate the image, and control sharpness. And on the sound menu, we can control the volume. If you plug this into a camera, you're going to be quite alarmed because it's going to transmit the audio from the camera through those speakers. So you might want to jump in the menu system and turn that down before you actually plug your camera in. The other weird thing I noticed was that the mount is not a 1/4-20 thread. So whatever kind of funky mount it comes with actually has a different thread. So to solve this, you have two options. You could go out and buy a tapping set and correct it, or if you're impatient like me, you can just use a bolt or an existing like ball head, screw it in, and it's a pretty thin piece of metal, so it was pretty easy to kind of retrain it and convert it to a 1/4-20. And after that, some 1/4-20 gear would thread on just fine. So it's a pretty stripped down monitor. Now, since I shot that bench footage, I've been using this monitor and here are my thoughts. First and foremost, it is a really sharp monitor and image, so I think it is great for checking your focus. And that's where most of the good stuff ends, having to modify the mount a little bit to make sure it fits 1/4-20 gear, not being an IPS panel, so you have to look directly at the monitor to see the image properly. If you go too far to one side or the other or up or down, you're really not going to be able to see much of the image. The contrast is going to go all wonky, and that makes sense for such a cheap monitor. When it comes to power, it comes with that power adapter, but no battery solution. So I actually found one that worked really well, and that's this plate back here. I just epoxied it to the back of the monitor, and it is a Sony MPF plate, and you can pick it up for around $13. And even though MPFs output 8.4 volts, even though they say 7.2 volts, but that's a whole nother topic. It works great, so I'll spin it around here. I'll turn on the A6500 and we'll power up the monitor. You hear the beep, we're powering it up. I'll tilt it toward you guys so you can see a little better. And there we go, it's working great. Nice sharp image. So as for recommendations with this, it is not the end all monitor. Obviously, we're talking about $49.99. Really cheap monitor. So this monitor is going to be really good for checking your composition, your framing, even checking your focus because it is really sharp and I'm very impressed with that. It's not going to be good for judging color because we have no way to calibrate this monitor. Would I recommend buying one? Yes and no. I would recommend picking one up if you're on a super shoestring budget and only have $50 to allocate to a monitor. Otherwise, that $50 would obviously be better served putting toward a more expensive, nicer monitor. But this will be awesome for checking your focus and checking your framing and composition. So that is going to do it for this episode. Let me know if you thought this was a dumb idea or if you'd like to see me do more affordable, super hyper budget gear like this. And as always, you can watch more tutorials and reviews at DSLR Video Shooter. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.